So every 10th episode of the Bionicle Inspiration series, we talk about your creations. This is a fan-submitted MOCs episode. Now on this show, we like to spotlight the MOCs of the community to give you some inspiration. And if you want your MOC to be featured on the Bionicle Inspiration series, you can submit your creation to the email that you see on your screen right now. It's also in the description below. Sweet. So let's kick things off. We'll begin with Kitongu, and this is built by Eero Okanonen. So obviously, this is a revamp of the lovely Bionicle set, Kitongu. But this time, it's made almost entirely out of system pieces. And dude, he looks so good like this. Eero built this using the pieces that come from a somewhat recent Simba LEGO Lion King set, the one that you're seeing right here. Now, this is not an alternate build of this set or anything like that. You can't buy Simba and then use the pieces to make this exact MOC. But you can buy this as a nice little parts pack. I mean, look at all these lovely Kitorange and bright light yellow pieces. Ah, they're so nice. And you get so many of them too. I mean, like all these curved slope pieces, they're just so lovely, the way that they help shape the limbs. Beautiful. But I would say they look way better as armor on our boy Kitongu. Look at this shoulder specifically. See how it's matching up with that original yellow Borok shield piece? Or Borok windscreen piece, whatever you want to call that part. This is the same one that came on the head of the original Kitongu set. Placing that on the edge of the shoulder armor and having it seamlessly flow into the other system curve slopes. Amazing. This is just a testament of how much you can perfectly match Bionicle and system pieces and use it to create brilliant Bionicle MOCs. So I recommend doing that. Head to the LEGO store or wherever you buy your sets from and go buy some system sets. If you use those parts, you'll be able to make some really incredible Bionicle-related characters. You might have to think outside the box a little bit since you're not playing with Bionicle parts, you're playing with something different. But like we can see here, you can end up with some really unique, very desirable results. Kitongu's never looked better. Now, this is Thorna, Duke of Decay by Ogre Helix. I quite like this half and half design, especially because it looks like it's being infected by some kind of parasite. It's a very distinct aesthetic, not something you see every day. The use of this Paraka, or more specifically Hakan's dark red spine piece, the way that's just been wrapped around the limbs, it looks so gnarly and so gross. But it also looks pretty dope. It kind of reminds me of how symbiotes kind of like wrap around the body of their host in Marvel movies and comics and stuff like that. What a genius way of using this piece. Another good part use is this face. It's using the mask that appeared on this Mystica set. But it's being placed on its side, kind of upside down. It's being placed a different way. And look at that. You got these two tan gears that are sandwiched into the very base of the mask. It's got that little indent there that, I don't know, perfectly marries up with these pieces. It's like they were born to work together. Vagan Samanyan has made Baraki Hunter. Hey, another very system-heavy Bionicle creation. Love to see it. System pieces, they're always going to be easier to buy than Bionicle parts. So you may as well take advantage of that. And we've got a fairly exotic colour scheme here. The limbs, they're all different colours, but I think that's cool. It reminds me of Bruticus from Transformers. You know, he's a larger Transformer that's made up of a lot of other smaller Transformers that have combined together. Now, that's not really the concept or the backstory behind this character, but it is a cool idea. These weapons are also pretty great. You know, a helicopter rotor and a sweet, sweet crossbow as well. They're nice. Over to Vanilla Ice Cream Rakshi, and this was built by Revenant Man. Now, you may remember a few episodes ago in various other videos, I said that you could build a Rakshi of vanilla ice cream, and I said it as a joke. But then this mad lad decided that they were actually going to build it. And yeah, I really admire that determination and the creative skill to bring this to life. That's so cool. And I mean, this is brilliant. Ice cream cones poking out of the spine on the back, the claws also being made out of ice cream cones, and then the use of this drill piece on the limbs. Now, this is actually an old LEGO piece from an old LEGO movie set. It was used as a big old ice cream cone on the top of the truck, but also this truck could transform into a radical-looking spaceship and the ice cream cone becomes like a little laser gun. But, you know, using it for limb armor, it works. And actually, I think it even works outside of the context of it being a big old ice cream cone. You could use this piece in silver or any of the other colors that it comes in and probably still get a really good design with it. I love this so much. Thank you for bringing my silly idea to life. Now over to Ocean Brick Bionicle, who has made Space Mutanui. It's always good to see a revamp of Mutanui, especially a more Titan-sized version. It's kind of rare to see that, and I guess that's because the original Toa Matanui set is so frickin' expensive. So, as a result, people can't buy that set, take it apart, add to it, and build it bigger and better. Although, that being said, looking at how this is built, it's not actually using that many pieces that came in the original Toa Matanui set. They've introduced a lot more gold, a lot more grey, and this mask, it's kind of a glossier gold colour. So this must be a custom version of this mask. Again, makes sense, the official one is worth way too much money. Now, easily the best part of this MOC has to be the use of these Takedox mask pieces on the centre of the torso. That alone looks good, but they're also glowing. Doesn't that just look amazing? If we flip the MOC around, we can see some circuit boards and some wires back here that are achieving this lit up look. You don't see too many people playing with lights on their Bionicle MOCs, but whenever people do, oh, it looks so brilliant. You could do like they've done here and make your own lights, or you could look into any of the various lighting companies like Light My Bricks, and the many other ones. I'm blanking on names right now of those companies, but if you just simply Google like Lego compatible lights, you'll find a few third-party products out there that work pretty well. I also quite like these vambrasses on the lower arms, building a big old cylinder out of these Ninjago golden blade elements. What a great idea. And transitioning over into Toa Onoa Revamp, this was built by Ashton Hawks. I mean, when you think about it, Onoa Mata, the design they had, it kind of lends itself to a very sinister, evil character. Large claw weapons, thinner limbs, a hunched back, glowing eyes. I mean, that's a recipe for a bad guy. But of course, Ono was a good guy. And I don't know, something about looking at him in this context, I'm like, no, he's very obviously a noble Toa. But why not kind of lean into that look a little bit more and turn him into a kind of demonic creature? That's kind of fun. And I like the idea that Onoa could still be a good guy, but they do look like this. It's a whole don't judge a book by its cover scenario, you know? A great part use here has to be these gold minifigure microphone pieces, ones that came on this collectible minifigure right here. Placing those into the eyes. Yeah, the way they bulge out and the pop of gold, it's perfectly creepy. Epically Evil brings us Tioma, Fearless Toa of Speed. I mean, look at the poses that this MOC can get into. Man, I love a good flexible and mobile MOC like this. And, given that they're a Toa of Speed, having lots of posability, it's kind of the perfect way to convey that. The builder also included an image that showcases the inspiration that helped them make this. I've always liked leg designs like this. They kind of end at a point, they have that bent, curved look, and they look awesome when they're running. It's pretty easy to see how that's been replicated here on this MOC, but, changed up a fair bit as well. Oh, and by the way, if you want to see this without armor, here's an image that showcases the frame. Perhaps you could recreate this frame yourself and build a very posable, brilliant MOC. And finally, Donny V gives us Toa Relop Unwielding Warrior. There's some nice classic vibes on this dude. Using an old purple color scheme and lots of older pieces as well. It makes this feel fresh out of 2001, it's great. So lots of these older purple parts, they come on this old Slicer set. If you're able to track down any of the Slicers, I recommend adding them to your collection. They're just a really nice resource for good pieces. And pieces that just naturally lend themselves to a very Bionicle-focused look. Now, if you're curious, this purple Liwa mask is a socket ball custom mask. Sadly, LEGO never made this in purple, which is a crime, because that would have looked so good. But that's the power of custom masks. You can get beautiful things in beautiful colors. And this really is the perfect finishing touch to this MOC. And there you have it, 8 fan-submitted MOCs for your pleasure and enjoyment. Be sure to check the links in the description below and see more from these talented builders. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, happy building, and bye for now.